Hello and welcome to my series Learning Rust Programming. My name is Ashish and today we are going to learn about very basic fundamental block of any programming language, that is flow of control. An integral part of any programming language are ways you modify control flow, that is using if, else, for and others. Let's talk about them in Rust. So first of all, let's talk about if and else. Branching with if else is similar to other languages. Unlike many of them, the Boolean condition doesn't need to be surrounded by parentheses, and each condition is followed by a block. If else conditions are expressions and all branches must return the same type. Surround this condition with parentheses. I need to write block. This condition is true. So here I want to print maybe that is negative. And suppose if I have else part, then something like this. So what if I have third condition? Then I can even write here as else if and one more block like this. And yeah, here I need to write another condition. Yeah, so here it will be positive and here it will be 0. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I just mentioned and I forgot. Let's run this code. Yeah. So this was about if and else. Now let's talk about loop. Rust provides a loop keyword to indicate infinite loop. So let's try with the example. And we use break statement to exit the loop anytime, whereas continue statement can be used to skip the rest of the iteration and start the new one. What I'm going to do, loop this. So this is infinite loop. It's going to iterate forever, and we need to add condition like this. Let's increment the loop every time it executes, and we need to add condition. So we will be using if, and we'll continue. So we will continue part. So if whenever we use continue, then this next part, next code or block is not going to get executed. So suppose if I write something like this print statement will not get executed when count equal to 3. So here let's print count, and if count equal to 5, we should stop. We'll write break, and before that we'll print. Okay, that's enough. Okay, continue. Yeah, so for 3 it will print 3 in a digit in variable form, and then it will skip the rest of the part. It will continue. Next counter will get incremental 4 5, and for 5 it will use break. So this is simple loop. Now next, there are two types of loop. We can use inner loop, outer loop in this format. So to use inner outer loop, what we need to do is we can use label. Okay, so something like this. This is outer loop, and inside this, if I have to write same loop here, then I will use inner loop label. Okay, so you have to give label name, and yeah, you don't forget this colon, then you write loop, and we will continue like this. So what we can do is, if, so here you have to break, let count equal to 32. All right. So this is how you will write outer loop, inner loop. So suppose I have function here, return from loop, which takes no parameter and returns integer of 32-bit size, and I have loop here. So let's say let a equal to 5, maybe let's say count. Let's make this variable as mutable. Count plus equal to 1. All right. And if count equal to 5, then I need to break, and I want to return some value here. So let's, and I will call this function. Let's call this function use println. Yeah. So if you want to return something, then you need to write it after the break. This is how you return value. So I need to initialize it to 0 so that it will go to 5. Okay. So this is how we write loop and we return from the loops. We use break and then return value. Next up is while loop. So to write a while loop is very similar to what do we, the way we write in any other language, like let's say Java. So again, I have to get one property, mutable property, and equal to 5. Let's say 5. I want to run loop for 5. And then what I need to do is, so here I'm decrementing the counter and simply I'm going to print this number. All right. So we are basically decrementing this n number. All right. So this is how you write while loop. Then next is for loop. The for loop is very simple. For n in, we put range like this. Yeah. So this is how you write for loop. You can put any condition. Yeah. So for loop is very simple and you can use for, and then we need to use this range, and that's how you will put upper bound, lower bound and upper bound, and you will print it. Very easy. So if you have a list or vector, then what you can do is, so let's say I have a vector of size initialized like this. Then and I want to iterate over this data structure, then list. Then what I'm going to do is I can have for each loop, and here I'm going to use iterator, and here, yeah, so here I'm going to print its name. Very simple. Yeah. So this is about iterator. So if you want to yeah, so next is match. Match is, I think we have used in one of the previous videos. We'll look it again. If I have a number, yeah, we actually looked it in the video of enum, where we learned about matching enum values. So suppose if you are getting some number from external system and you want to take decision based on that number, so what you can do is something like this. Yeah, here you are supposed to enter comma. So if I have these numbers, then I'm going to write and from 13 onwards till 19, what I'm going to write is these are team numbers. Yep. And this is a wild card. It should match with any number which doesn't fall in any of these three conditions. Will print not in range. Okay. So yeah, that's it. And here, let's run this. Yeah. So if 13 is, if I put number 5, then it will match this condition. This is prime. If I put 1, we print 1, and if I put 100, it will print this is not in range. Got it? So this is about match keyword. So that's it from this video. These are simple building blocks of control flow in Rust programming language. So if you please like, share, subscribe, and if you have any suggestion, please comment. Thanks for watching this video.